Good morning, I'm Warrant Officer Peter Morwood, and we're here in Hull Marina today for a short ceremony to commission the ship's bell of this wonderful old schooner HMS Pickle, owned by Mr. Mal Nicholson.
My name's Colour Sergeant Steve Rasher-Bacon, part of the ship's company at HMS Victory. I think it's maybe want to explain why we at Victory have got something in common with this fine vessel behind me. So HMS Pickle, as we know, at the Battle of Trafalgar, and this is a replica. About 2 years ago, I was approached by one of the associate members on HMS Victory, and he put me in contact with Mal Nicholson, who owns the Pickle behind me. And we thought it'd be a great idea to try and get Victory and Pickle back together. So about 18 months ago, I sent 6 guys up to sell Victory with the ship's company they have already, and they sailed all the way from Hull all the way down to Portsmouth. And then they met us in Portsmouth Harbour, and they were berthed right next to HMS Victory, so which was really cool, get to these two ships back together. So they stayed there for a week. They came on board HMS Victory and had a function on the lower gun deck, and we had a really good week with the guys. And then after that, myself and a few others, we got onto the Pickle, and we sailed it all the way back up to Hull, which took about 5 or 6 days, which was a really good experience for likes of me that have never been on a period wooden sailing ship like HMS Pickle. And since then we've got this close relationship with Mal, and it's only getting better and better every time we meet. And we're here today to commission the ship's bell, and it's all good news, and we're looking forward to a bright future together.
Morning everybody, and welcome. Today, as you know, is a special day for us in commissioning the ship's bell. We've got guests from far and wide. We've got Steve and Peter Morwood and Steve Rasher-Bacon from HMS Victory, and they came up yesterday, and they've really taken charge of the restoration and engraving of the bell. So, you know, great for them to be here with us today. We've got the brethren from Trinity House, we've got Deanne from the Sailors' Children, and we've got some of the Trinity House boys and the Sea Cadets. So, you know, all in all, if I've missed anybody out, I apologise, but you know, this is what we're doing, and we're going to make sure that the event is noted and celebrated properly, rather than just hanging the bell up, giving it a gong, and off we go. At the end of the ceremony, there will be some cannon fire, so I'll warn you with your dog now. Yeah, effectively, I'd like to hand over to Peter Morwood and Steve Rasher-Bacon to give a a brief sort of address, and then we'll move on with the commissioning of the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you all to HMS Pickle on this fine northern morning. Good morning. We're here to commission the bell for HMS Pickle. The first time that a bell for Pickle has been commissioned. It's taken over 3 months to pull this together with the refurbishment and the engraving in the ship's bell, while a former colleague of mine and Colour Sergeant Bacon's from the Royal Yacht Britannia made the bell rope in his own time. And if you look at the colours of the bell rope, it was designed to replicate the colours of the black and red of her hull, and also the buff coloured brown is to replicate the colours of her masts and her sails. And a little bit of tassel for a bit of decoration. That is not a tow rag.
They don't know what that is.
They'll ask me. So it's been a journey, and we think it's just one more turn of the page in this amazing journey and the book of life of HMS Pickle. You know, and she will long continue into the future, and the book will get thicker and thicker as the pages begin to turn. So I'd like to thank you all very, very much indeed for coming. And let's have a good day today celebrating the commissioning of the bell for HMS Pickle.
As you all know, the bell is the central point of any vessel. When they go diving on wrecks, the first thing they always want to find is the ship's bell. It's like the heart and soul. Sorry, I'm struggling a little.
You're getting emotional, that's what it is.
No, I'm afraid it isn't emotion, I'm croaking. It's the heart and soul of any vessel, and to have a dedicated and commissioned ship's bell for the Pickle is quite an honourable thing to do. So what I would like to say now is, now the bell has been commissioned and rung aboard, we're going to do a short sort of cannon salute. So if I can ask Mason if you would prepare the charges.
Well done!
Sea Cadets, Royal Hospital, can you fold yourselves back in as we were earlier on, please? Stand by promptly at ease. Sea Cadets, Royal Hospital, ho! Salute! Turning right! Dismiss! Can you do that again for the film? Welcome. How are you? Don't look so terrified. Don't look so terrified. How are you? You going to join the Navy?
Yeah, lovely.
Good
What about
answer.
the Royal Marines? Much better than the Navy.
You going to join the Navy?
Possibly.
When? How old are you now? You're small for 16, aren't you? You really are.
Right, who's over 8 years old here? Are you all over 8? So if you were on HMS Victory at 1805 at the Battle of Trafalgar, you would have been entitled to 4 pints of beer a day, a pint of wine, or quarter pint of 54% proof rum.
Can I have 4 pints of lager tonight, please? Can I have 4 pints of lager tonight, please?
He'll explain later. Yeah, they're recruited from 8 years up, and you would have been the powder monkeys, taking all the gunpowder to the guns during the battle.
Cool. That's a tow rag, you know? 821 men on board HMS Victory at the Battle of Trafalgar. Senior officers, Captain Hardy, Admiral Nelson, had their own heads in their cabins, so they could use the facilities whenever they wanted. The remainder of the ship's company shared 6 heads in the forward of the ship. In them days, the toilets. They were simply holes in a wooden box on the foredeck where each sailor would go up there and do his business. Now, the Georgians didn't have the luxury of Andrex toilet paper, so they had to make do with what they've got. So hanging through the hole where they did their business was a long rope that dangled and towed itself into the sea. The end of the rope was frayed. So when you've done your business, you stood up, readjusted your dress, lifted up the rope, cleaned yourself with it, and then drop it back into the sea so it could be towed and cleaned. So that is the term tow rag. However, if you didn't particularly like the chap that was waiting behind you to do his business, you wouldn't put it back into the water and clean it. So you would tie a knot in it so it dangled free of the water. And that made him a dirty tow rag.
This morning signifies quite a monumentous sort of occasion, really. The ship's bell, of which the Pickle has never had an official ship's bell, a beautiful 200-plus-year-old style bell, has been machined and engraved and restored by the Royal Navy crew on HMS Victory. That was Peter Morwood and Steve Rasher-Bacon, who's the mess president. Essentially, over a 3-month period, the bell's been worked on, cleaned, shaped, balanced and engraved to such a standard. It's breathtaking in its beauty. The ship's bell is everything as far as the operation of an old vessel's concerned. It is a prime candidate for everything that the ship's about, to signify time, emergency, and all various other shift changes, crew changes, whatever else. The bell really is the heart and soul of the vessel. I'd like to thank the senior rates from HMS Victory, Steve Rasher-Bacon, and the new executive officer, Peter Morwood, who have both crewed HMS Pickle, the recreation, with us and enjoyed it, and with their continued support we turn another leaf in the chapter of the book of HMS Pickle as we go into the future. The Trinity House Association, which are prominent in the city of Hull, and their support this morning. There's 6 members of the Trinity House brethren have joined us. There's Sea Cadets from the local Sea Cadet base. Very fortunate to see Deanne Thomas from the Sailors Children's Society representing them, and various other people, including Phil Warren, whose grandfather built the Spider Tea, who turned up to support us this morning. So there are quite a few people who I must give thanks to for supporting us and giving us that necessary sort of push to achieve what we're doing. There are also 3 members of the squad of Whites from Trinity School, headed by our very own Mason Wild and 2 of his comrades, hoping that they'll in turn make a bond with us and work together to achieve even greater things. Hopefully, the legacy that we have created will go on into the future and create something so worthwhile and so solid that it will be there for many years to come.